listening to KCYP 97.7 The City. This is Scarlet Rose, and you're now listening to RGV Rocks. Thank you for the intro, Audex. Once again, you are listening to KCYP 97.7 FMLP The City. This is Scarlet Rose on RGV Rocks, KCYP 97.7 FMLP. The City is a non-profit organization that promotes local artists such as myself and is the home of indie music. We are now accepting donations through our website, www.thecity977.com, as well as sponsorships to keep this radio station thriving. For more information on paying donations, sponsorships, or business advertisement, feel free to contact Joe Martinez at 956-789-0702 or by email at martinezjoe@hotmail.com. If you guys want to be leaving donations to the city or our station or even RGV Rocks, please be sure to look into the link in the description below. For people that don't know who we are or what we do, RGV Rocks is a radio show and now an online podcast dedicated to the local talent, events, and all the wonderful people in the RGV, such as you and I. Today we have a very special guest on our show known as The Culture. How are you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good. Early morning, 11 a.m. Pretty early for us, not gonna lie. Pretty early for me.
For people that don't know about our show, we do this pre-recorded, so it is a beautiful Sunday. Well, I know it's gonna rain in a bit. It's a beautiful Sunday at 11 a.m. today, so that's pretty much good. We finally have rain in the valley after so long, because oh my gosh, it's been a terrible.
This is what, last February? Yeah, last February.
Yeah, it's the valley weather is so terrible at this point. Oh my gosh, I hate it because I just moved in from out of town, so I'm here because college and stuff like that. So the fact that I came from like really dry hot weather to like more humid dry weather, it's terrible. But what's it called? How you guys been? Like I know this is your first interview on our station?
Ever actually, ever. So hopefully we do pretty good. How are you guys doing yourselves?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you today, Max?
How am I doing? Just got off of school, so reaping the benefits of not having that, but excited to get back into it. Just graduated with bachelor's in mechanical, so we're pursuing
Oh
that.
my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you. Excited to move forward.
Yeah.
So pretty happy.
I think the rest of us are still going to college next semester. For the most part, we all have like 2-3 years left. So that gets in the way sometimes, you know how it is, especially when you have like just a lot going on your plate, working, going to school, trying to come up with music. But other than that, I think now that we're free, we're gonna start working, hanging out more, just coming up with new ideas, hopefully.
New album coming out pretty soon?
I don't know. So this is Nick. He plays guitar for us too, but he also does our sound now, and he's the man behind most of the sound engineering now. So it's up to him whenever he decides if it's out or not. So what do you think?
Probably, I don't know about an album, but maybe like a single sometime this year.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. That's pretty cool. We might have to get like some of your new singles here on the station.
Yeah. You'll be the first to know. For sure.
All right. Actually, since you already introduced Nick, can you introduce some of you guys as well? Because for the people that are watching or don't know who you are.
Yeah. My name's Luis Ramirez. I play guitar, rhythm, and I also do lead vocals.
My name is George. I'm the drummer. That's it.
My name is Marcus. I play bass.
We're going to introduce you again.
My name's Nick, and I play guitar.
My name is Maxiano, and I play bass as well. He's the bassist.
We alternate.
Oh my gosh, you guys alternate?
Yeah.
How does that work?
We don't know yet.
You guys are just figuring it out as you come along?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So it's like every other show, it's like, okay, you know what? You take the bass. I don't know. You do it.
We just show up.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, welcome to our station as well as our show. Since you guys are new here on our show as well, we usually ask a favorite question that we usually ask to like all of our interviewees, and that is what is your favorite part about the RGV and why?
All right. Who wants to go first? Because I'm not from here. So you guys grew up here.
I grew up here, dude. The best thing about the RGV is the food. I just love the food down here. I mean, I never tried anything else besides RGV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to live in Phoenix before coming to live in the valley, and as compared, because you were saying going back to your point about dry heat, over
Mhm.
here, like compared, the weather is way better. Over there, we have like 120-degree weather. Yeah, you can literally fry an egg on the street if you leave
Oh
it for like
my-
half an hour. And can you believe I used to wear like sweaters and stuff, being like, no, I'm trendy. Now I can't even go outside in this weather without shorts.
You're built different. Holy.
That's it. That's why I'm the front man. No, I'm kidding.
I'd say the best thing about the RGV is definitely HEB. No, no store does more, man. Like I was out in California for work, and we had Ralph's, and I don't know.
What about you, Nick?
I don't really have anything to add.
He's like-
I mean, I agree on the food.
He's like, this place sucks. Never mind.
I'd probably have to say the community. The more people you meet, the harder it is to find someone who doesn't know someone else you already know.
One thing I will say too is the music scene is pretty welcoming, especially among indie artists.
Yeah.
We recently started like what, a year and a half ago too, and obviously we're still like, I would consider us still brand new, but a lot of people have reached out and been like, yeah, we've been really welcoming to us, especially because I know some people like to gatekeep or like to be very elitist with entry level bands. So that's one cool thing about the scene here.
Going back onto the HEB part, I think that's the first that's the first thing anybody has said when we answered we asked this question, because I don't think anybody has said HEB yet. Everybody said like the culture, the food, the music.
Culture, yeah.
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 Culture.
Oh my gosh, I just forgot. But no, going back to that, that is like the most original answer so far. What did somebody say last time? I think somebody said the last time the beach. And I was like, whoa. Yeah, because of like the fishing and stuff like that. I was like, okay, that's interesting.
No store does more, man. No store does more.
Oh my gosh. So since you're the front man and you've traveled from like Phoenix, right? Phoenix
Yes.
to the valley. How do you like it so far?
The valley at first, I'm not gonna lie, compared to a big city, it was kind of disappointing. But after a while, I feel like the valley is like one of those places where you actually have to go out and try to experiment and find new places, or else you get what you put out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now that I've been going out and discovering local spots and stuff, I see the history behind the place. And especially like for years ago, especially on Main Street in the art district, there's a whole bunch of cool spots there. But as far as like liking it, I think I feel more at home. I recently went back to Phoenix like a year ago just to visit some friends, and I felt so out of water. Even though I've been gone a couple years, it's not welcoming. And that's as I would say as it is here, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And what part of the valley from that all you are from?
It's Edinburgh, yeah.
yeah, we're
Oh my gosh, I'm
Edinburgh,
nearby.
yeah.
Edinburgh game.
Don't dox us, please.
What's it called? No, actually, speaking about culture, how did you come up with the name of your band?
Okay, so as a starter band, you could go through really, really bad names before you come up with the one, right? Like really, really bad names, and we went through like what, 5 horrible names. The original name for the band was Color Culture,
No, it was
Other culture.
Color Cult, and that just did not stick. We changed the color, we changed it to Comfort Culture, and that did not stick. And I just kept experimenting with all these like different names until one day Marcus finally got sick of trying to explain the name, especially how weird it was. He was just like, you know what? We're the culture now. And that's been stuck around ever since.
Mhm.
Yeah, as we can say, we're repping culture.
And since you joined the band, well, actually, since you made the band a year ago, it's a year and a half ago, or is it just a year?
I would say
It was like
close to 2 years now.
2020.
Yeah, close to during
2020.
pandemic era.
Oh my gosh, that means it's about to be 2 years. Well, no, 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. The time has passed.
I
But
know. I still feel like it's early.
Did you have to? So when you guys became the culture, did it? When did it stick? Did it stick between like the year that you've been here, or has it? Did you mess around with names and just like said like, oh, okay, well now we're the culture?
Like yeah, we messed around with names for like a couple months, just trying to come up with like our sound. I guess we still need to work on that too, but just one day, like as soon as we heard the culture, we took all those like all the sub names out and just still focus on that. It's just been there ever since, and I feel like it's such a striking name, which I'm surprised it wasn't taken. There's like other names like blank and
Yeah.
the culture or something like that, but nobody has just taken the culture, which it's one of those names that once you hear of, you hear it every day in conversation.
It
So
sticks too because the thing is like I remember when I saw you guys' Instagram, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a cool band name.
oh, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
And so how did you guys meet?
Mostly me,
High school,
George, and
yeah.
Marcus went to high school together.
Same high school.
Same high school, Edinburgh High School. Not representing. No representing, which is one thing.
Not
Um, we met Max through one of our old band members. His name was Tony Castillo. Shout out if you're out there.
I love you, Tony.
He used to play drums with us, but we met him through him. He plays woodwinds for the UTRGV band, and then he also plays bass for the UTRGV band as well, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I played the synthesizer for UTRGV Wins.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know, you're good. You're good. We had competitions all throughout the past 4 months, and then we had our final national competition mid-April. Won first place in the nation, so repping UTRGV. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. And yeah, I played bass for the UTRGV pet band. We would play for the volleyball games, for the basketball games whenever they're in season. And I was in a band about a year and a half ago. We disbanded, so now I'm on the market to play with the band, and here I am with the culture.
Hey,
There you go. We had this next.
so cool.
I actually reached out to Luis. I heard about the band through a friend, but I reached out to Luis because I wanted to build him a guitar amp, and then we met up, and he offered a spot in the band, and I was like, yeah, sure. So that's how I joined.
Hold up, you make amps?
Yeah. So if you want an amp, hit him up. So
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm not gonna say my Instagram.
Ah, that's free promotion right there, but I guess. Oh, what fell? Ah, okay.
Studio falling apart.
Yes, I'm saying. But actually going into, so what kind of genre do you see yourself as? Do you see it as like experimental? Since you haven't found your sound yet, what do you guys see yourself as?
I would like to classify us as post-punk. Maybe I take influence from new wave for sure, and just indie alternative pop in general. But I wouldn't know what to classify ourselves as in one particular term because I take influence from bands like Gorillaz and stuff like that, where they just experiment with a whole bunch of different sounds and put them into one thing. And I remember very early on, Marcus and I and our original guitarist Brandon, we just kind of talked about like where we want to take the band and stuff, and we all decided that we just want to experiment, always be experimenting and never settle for like one. You know how the bands just find their sound and that's all you get from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always want to continue growing musically.
Hmm.
So those are my influences. I don't know about you guys. What do you take influence from? What would you describe us as?
I would say you described it pretty well. I kind of have the same influences, but I also have like a metal influence, which I don't think is really gonna show up in the band.
We never know.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Similar influences, but anything rock, I'm into. I love indie rock. I love classic rock, soft rock, hard rock. Just any part of that, I'm with it.
I know for sure we want to start, at least for the upcoming projects that we work on, we want to start focusing more on a, like, I guess, more energy filled, more rock heavy influence. Because although I do like our poppy indie songs, I would describe them. I, sometimes just playing like something harder, like our song "Tear Me Apart," like live, really gets us pumped up. Yeah, so that's why we want to focus more on that sound, especially because it's coming back. So we'll see.
Yeah. So you guys are gonna probably post maybe I would say like an emo emo album
Wait.
coming up.
Right, we gotta be emo together.
Somewhat.
You
You
gotta
just
do the
change
MySpace
all like
angle.
what's it called, attire and stuff like that, just to but so who writes your songs?
Who writes songs? Sorry. Yes, I write the lyrics. Yes.
I like
write
how you
the
just
lyrics.
looked around and was like, okay, who writes this?
No, I couldn't. I couldn't understand the sentence. I didn't hear it properly. Yeah, I write the songs, and uh, I also come up with the melodies, and then we go from there.
Mhm.
For the, yeah, so I come up with some demo ideas. I bring them to the guys, and then they add their own little spin to it. But yeah, for the most part, I write the lyrics. Although we're trying to get more ideas from everybody else.
Yeah, I think we're probably the main two songwriters.
Two songwriters.
Mhm.
That's interesting.
Yeah, hopefully we don't clash.
Hey,
That's always a struggle.
if anything, it's part of the culture.
There you go. Alright. So if you guys see me and Nick having a death match, you know why. Because
The gang culture, actually.
Oh my god. But what's it called? So you mentioned that you started the band around the pandemic. Was it due to the fact that you guys were like super bored, didn't know what to do? Or how did that come about?
So I've always wanted to have like a musical project, just because I've always been interested in it. But I always, believe it or not, 2 years ago I didn't even know how to play guitar.
Oh wow.
Yeah, legit. I didn't know how to play guitar. George barely learned how to play drums this year, and Marcus did too. No, these guys are good. They've been playing forever. That's why we had them. We needed them. But yeah, during the pandemic, I had a lot of free time, and I just actually felt confident enough to actually start. Like I was like, no more postponing. I have no excuse anymore. And I came up with the melody for "Memories," our first single, and it was kind of like a. I told Marcus, I was like, hey, we should write a song, see how it goes, blah 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 blah. Blah. But it just came like second nature to me, like writing a song and producing it. Maybe right now it's not the best quality, right? But after that came out, it kind of like opened my eyes. I'm like, huh, maybe we can do this, and we just worked on an EP, and then we've been here ever since.
Wow. That's amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
I don't know that many bands now I think about it that have gotten together so quickly within like the span of a year and then like work together like so fast, especially with like some music knowledge, and then you two like know more about music than the rest of. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I haven't seen a band like that in like the RGV yet.
No. Well, we're the culture.
Oh my gosh. So what has been your biggest like challenge as like a band? Because you guys are you all from like different parts of the valley, right? Some parts Edinburgh, some parts UTRG, or no?
I think we're all relatively close to each other.
Relatively.
The hardest part of the band is just finding like schedules to link up, because like I said, we all have different things going on. We all work, we all go to school too, and we try to balance our lives out. And it's just really hard to find, like, especially when you're uh, trying to put all your effort into this one project as for passion. It's just hard for all of us to line up and everything work out perfectly. And yeah, that, and also before that everyone else joined, finding band members that would stick around, kind of believing in your project when you're so new. That was also really hard.
Mm, yeah. What's it called? So you mentioned that your ultimate direction as a band is just to play, just to do what you want to do. Do you ever
Yeah.
see yourself possibly what's it called? I would say being on the blogs, because I know like there are some RGB blogs out there that
Mhm.
mention like that critique like people's albums and stuff like that. Do you ever see
Mhm.
yourselves like going in that direction more towards like stardom?
I know I've reached out to some blogs like out in the 956, and they actually incorporated us in like their year-end review of 2021
Oh wow.
for like upcoming artists and stuff. So me personally, me and Marcus are in charge of the social media, and we're always trying to reach out to local people, just trying to get our name out there. As soon as I saw you guys, I was like, you know what? Yeah, why not try it out? Let's see. Maybe we have nothing to lose, you know.
Mhm.
So I feel like that's always been my mindset, just reaching out to people and having no fear of getting rejected, because it's like, at the end of the day, you either gain an opportunity or you lose nothing. So
Mhm. There is a couple more questions before our show ends, but I also want to mention this is Keep the Culture Alive just came out a couple, well, I would say
Yeah, like almost a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A year ago, yeah.
Do you wanna talk about that actually?
Yeah. As far as just the story behind it or the songs?
Yes, the story, if we can.
Yeah, okay, so Keep the Culture Alive is kind of like a passion project, kind of proving to ourselves that we can do it. That's why we named it that. And we went the way we went about that EP was everything you shouldn't do when writing an album. Because we announced we were writing an EP before we even had songs ready.
Oh,
So it became a running joke with us and our fans of just being like, yeah, the EP's coming soon, and then like a year later, nothing. Which is something we tend to do. We always say something's coming soon, and it takes forever.
Yeah.
But as far as that EP, it just came out during like quarantine when we are all safely hanging out together with masks 6 feet apart and writing songs, just kind of channeling, I guess, our, would you say, creativity together? Yeah. Yeah, it was just mostly a way for us to hang out during the quarantine, and I feel as far as the EP, I don't know. I feel like we learned a lot from it. Like, I don't know. What do you think?
With writing that EP and whatnot, yeah, I feel like it was a very fun project for all of us. Before we had this like really nice studio, we would practice and kind of record in a bedroom with like a little audio interface. Our first, like for the memories, our first drums, we actually didn't make them until we did, but they were a YouTube drum kit that we tried to make a song around.
Yeah.
And it was actually kind of funny. Like we did a lot of silly things when writing all the songs, but I think they all turned out really well.
Yeah, with that EP, like you can actually see the difference between the start of us having absolutely nothing, like no knowledge about music, nothing, to the end where I think we have some knowledge. Maybe we're not the most knowledgeable, but I remember one time we had one of our friends come over to jam. His name is Kaladi, and plays bass. And keep in mind, this dude has been in the music scene for years. He's like, yeah, I'll jam out with you guys. I'll help you guys out. First time he comes over, he brings all his equipment. He was like, where do you guys have your PA? I'm down to connect, blah, blah, blah. And then Marcus and I are just standing there like absolute dweebs, just sitting there like, oh, we just play like with our acoustic guitars and YouTube drums in the background. And I'm surprised he did not walk out from that at all. Because, I don't know, it was actually thanks to Claudia that helped us out a lot.
Like we need to get amps.
Yeah, we didn't even have amps. We didn't have anything. So we legit, from the start, we only had guitars, no amps, no cables, nothing. And now we have, I would say, a moderately sized studio and pretty nice equipment. Yeah.
Hey, if anything, you would have started out with an acoustic album or like an EP.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for
Yeah, that's what I mean. We did everything wrong with that EP. We were so ambitious with it. We're like we don't even have amps, but we're gonna make a whole 5-song EP. We got it right.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm honestly surprised at how good or the quality came out with it, especially because we did everything ourselves too. We recorded everything at home, produced it ourselves, and everything. Yeah.
Is there gonna be an acoustic EP of that?
There might be.
Might be.
Memories indeed.
Yeah.
Where we have that one acoustic song that we've been working on.
Yeah, we're actually trying to, hopefully for winter, no official release or anything. We're trying to come up with like a moody acoustic album just so you can put it in the
Ooh.
background. Yeah.
So what's your plan for that? Like, how is that gonna go about?
Oh, I'm sorry, what's the question? What was the question?
What's it called? If you guys were to do the acoustic movie or like the thing that you're talking about right now, how would you go about it? Or what's your like envision of that?
I wouldn't like. It's not really like planned, I guess, because like the acoustic song that I have didn't really start off as an acoustic, but I was just playing it one day and I was like, this could work, and then I suggested like maybe we could do like more acoustic songs as well.
Mm-hmm. I know for sure. Marcus, George, and I have been planning something acoustically for a little while. So I've been writing things to just kind of like Ed Maverick, which is a big influence for me as far as acoustic wise, or even early Coldplay, just like very moody and
Yeah.
warm. So hopefully, if everything goes well, we would have to take those influences and put that in our EP. Like I said, we're always down to experiment with different sounds, so we can go from like a really chill um, acoustic song to like out of nowhere just go thrash, thrash rock or punk. Yeah, it's just what
Um,
I'm feeling that day.
what's it called? So my last question is, how can people actually see you? You guys said that you performed, right? Where do you
Yes.
usually perform? Is there a show coming up or anything that the fans can, see y'all?
So we don't have any shows lined up. We're working on getting some more shows right now, but like I said, we were working through school, so that was our priority. But now that the
Hmm.
summer's free, we're working on getting some more. For sure, if we get something lined up, we'll announce it to our Instagram, which is at the Culture Band. I believe there's a period after the Culture. Um, but overall, right now we're really working on getting our stage level up there because we've gone through so many members and we've had to restart so many times because people come and leave and then we have to get accustomed. So right now we want to have a really good stage show for everybody so we can really stand out. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. But I'm pretty sure we have something. Oh, I can't say for sure, but I'm in contact with this DIY venue called the Bummer Shed. Yeah,
Yes, I know that.
yeah,
I know them. Okay,
yeah,
okay. I see. I see. Okay,
yeah.
but
So whenever they have something lined up, they're gonna add us. And also, we played at the Sauce House at San
mhm,
Juan, and whenever we're also on the list for whenever they have something else lined up. But you know how they're really big with the indie,
mhm.
very supportive. So they always have something going on, and they try to get a lot of artists. So when hopefully we get there again, get to play there again.
So for anybody listening, go check out the culture. If any shows are gonna come up, you know
Yeah.
where to look at. But what's it called? Other than that, what's it called? Do you have any shout outs you want to do, or even like any plugins for your band that you want to do before we end the show?
Mm, so yes, we are on Spotify. We're on
Apple Music.
SoundCloud, Apple Music. We're on all streaming devices. We are the culture. We're even on YouTube. We're working on a music video right now. That should be out soon, probably by the end of the month or next month. We don't know yet, depending on the editing process.
It'll be next year.
Yeah, we'll
next
see.
year. We'll see.
The
The new joke's gonna be music
Yeah.
video dropping soon.
Give like 2 years.
new joke.
And we are also working on new songs, so stay tuned for that. I believe a single should be out relatively soon. Hopefully not. We'll see. But yes, the culture on everything.
All right. So any shout outs before we leave?
Shout out to HEB. Shout out to I don't know. Shout out to you guys for having us on. Honestly,
Thank
yeah. Especially
you.
for our first interview.
Oh my
Hopefully
gosh.
we
This is really cool.
yeah. A little nerve wracking, but hopefully we did well.
Hey,
So,
it's great because what's it called? The more people that get on, especially like local bands such as you, the more culture it brings to like the station.
that's us. That's us.
The
That's
culture
us.
band. Okay.
No, I bet every time you say the culture from now on, it's just in the back of your head you're gonna think of us because that's what
Yeah.
happens to me whenever I say the culture. I'm like, oh wait, that's our band.
We're gonna trademark that.
Yeah, we're gonna trademark that so whenever somebody says it, you owe us $1. We're gonna
Yeah,
sell
do
it.
it. Do it. That way you get money. You can like what's it called?
You
You
can't
can
be
basically
broke
like
anymore.
yeah, pretty much. You can fund yourselves. Any lawsuit, hey, that's our band.
The culture versus the culture versus the culture.
Yeah.
Culture group.
But what's it called? Thank you so much for being on our show. Oh my gosh, I didn't even. I was thinking about it. I was like, so this is your first interview here on the station as well. We'll be sure to bring you back here, probably like in a couple months here now, whenever your new EP is coming out. We'll gladly, yeah, we'll gladly bring you back.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Honestly, it
Yeah.
means a lot. Honestly, yeah.
So what's it called? Any other shout outs from any of the band members? No? Yes.
Anybody want to go?
I would just say shout out to Tony Castillo for allowing me to meet the band. This is how I connected with them. So he's amazing drummer, amazing guy.
Shout out to Tony Castillo also for giving us a shot and when we were first starting out and teaching us a lot about music in general. just with
Mhm.
drums.
Shout out to Kalade. That guy is an amazing bassist, and I get a lot of inspiration from him.
Shout out to the culture for letting him be in their band. Yeah, thank you.
Nick.
Shout out my amp business.
I thought you didn't want it.
If you want an amp built, just contact me through Instagram, through the
There we go.
it should be in the bio for the band page or whatever.
Oh, I was gonna ask. I completely forgot. What's your social media where fans can see you at? Because I know you plugged in like your Spotify and all that, but I forgot to ask your social media where people can
Our
find you.
Instagram is @thecultureband and should be right there.
Like a TV,
It's
black TV,
yeah,
or like a
right?
color TV.
It's a color, yeah.
it's weird.
So @the.cultureband on
Mhm.
Instagram, and we also have Facebook as well, the culture, and I believe we also have TikTok.
Yeah.
No TikToks yet.
No, we just started it up. We're trying to
Be
understand the
trendy.
algorithm
Trying
because
to get trendy,
I'm actually, if you don't mind, I don't understand like how TikTok works because I see all these bands going on there and they all do the same thing. So we're like,
Gotta do something different.
Yeah.
You gotta do something
I think we're just gonna start posting random stuff.
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, we have
you
TikTok.
might cause the culture to come alive.
We're gonna keep it alive.
The best way is TikTok.
Watch our TikToks just be like something dumb.
But thank you so much for joining us here on our show and as well as the studio. Thank you so much. If you guys like to check us out or learn more about what we do on our show, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Facebook and Instagram is just RGV Rocks, and Twitter is Rocks RGV. Once again, Facebook and Instagram is just RGV Rocks, and Twitter is Rocks RGV. Thank you so much, the culture.
Thank you for having us.
I'm dropping the room. But thank you so much for joining us here on our station. We'll see you probably next time, if anything, when you guys drop the new EP. I'm really excited to interview you guys again. But I especially want to remind everyone, thank you for listening to our humble little show. We'll be here next time on KCYP 97.7 FMLP, The City.
Awesome.